Chapter 13. We drive to a hotel without saying anything except for Tasha and Susie, who are cracking jokes, and Susie keeps telling us what she did in Paris and Tunis and Norway. And Liverpool! Yells Susie before cracking up at one of Tasha's jokes. It wasn't that funny, says Liz, but she's laughing too. Hey, you know what? Says Tasha. New York City is better than Paris. You don't know. You know they film parts of Star Wars in Tunisia with all the desert. Desert's boring. New York City's boringer. That's not even a word. And I know, because I'm smarter than you think. At least we don't live in California because, you know, you don't like the desert. You know why I don't like the desert? Snakes! Tasha shivers and looks at Susie. There aren't any snakes in the city. Good point. Then we go to a hotel called Hotel 77. The outside has green walls and the doors are automatic, but they squeak when we take our luggage in. Inside the lobby is another world. All over the walls are pictures of sports teams, and there are blue chain lamps hanging from the ceiling. And there are also red lights revolving around the room, and odd decorations hanging from the ceiling between the chain lamps. There's a sign which says breakfast, 5:52 a.m. to 8:57 a.m. For free for those in poverty, $4 for the middle class, $10 for the wealthy, $30 for the millionaire. Billionaire. Behind the lime green desk sits a woman with bushy brown hair and red glasses and a young face. But she must be at least Mom's age. She's wearing a long scarf and an orange shawl. I immediately think of Tracy, but she looks at my mother like she knows her and then shrugs and says, "May I help you?" "Nice decorations," says Mom sarcastically. "I knew you were weird, but not that weird. We would like 2 adjoining rooms for a night. Smoking or non-smoking?" Mom looks like she wants to ask Tasha and Susie if they smoke, but she turns back to the woman at the desk and says, "Non-smoking, please, and 2 beds in each room. King, queen, double, or twin?" 2 queen beds in each room, please." "Yes, ma'am. Anything else?" 2 room keys. "Are you sure? What about these lovely children of yours?" "Only Serena will have one because she didn't just run away, and 2 of them aren't even my children." "Of course they aren't. I should have known better." "Kelly? Don't talk to me like we know each other." "What the heck are you doing here, Kelly?" "None of your business. Or, if you have to know, we are renting a room, which is very obvious, Lucy." For a split second, I think she's talking to me, but I remember that Mom won't call me Lucy in a million billion years. Mom grabs the room keys and stabs the elevator button for the 4th floor, and we all climb in. She hands Serena a room key and says, "Serena, I'd like you to stay with Tasha and Susie and keep them under control. And I'll be staying with you and Lucinda and Elizabeth. No interference." I was just about to tell Mom it would be a good idea to separate Tasha and Susie, but I see no point in arguing with her. "Can we get room keys?" asks Liz. "Absolutely not! You've shown no maturity whatsoever in running away." "But I'm hungry," protests Liz. "I haven't had anything since breakfast except for sandwiches at the Pound and sandwiches at the police station." Serena went to the grocery store. "Mom, we don't have an oven. We can't cook," I yell because I'm starving too. "Lucinda, enough. Serena can go to McDonald's and you can stop interfering with me." "Mom," I ask cautiously, "why won't you call me Lucy? Why?" "What did I ever do? If you just tell me, I would stop going crazy." Mom locks the door to the room and says, "No more questions, Lucinda." "Who is that woman downstairs?" "Lucinda, I said." "No more questions, yeah." I sit down on the bed. I can't get called Lucinda or even Cindy. I have to let my friends call me Lucy if my mother won't. And Tasha and Susie are my friends no matter what Mom or Rosemary Richards says. Mom sighs. "I have to explain everything. Go get Serena." "I thought she was going to McDonald's." "Go get her." I get Serena. None of you say a word." "I met your father in college, and Lucinda, after you were born, he ran away, and then Mr. Carlo, Elizabeth, your father, came from the army and got married, but then we argued about stupid things, cabbage for one, and then he went back to the army, and I met Mr. Law and married him, and he left because he said that he re-met his high school girlfriend, and he had to marry her instead, and I was husbandless again, and with 6 kids, the situation was desperate. I wanted to get married to someone who would stay and take care of them. My best friend from high school, the woman downstairs, Lucy Lynch, well, she introduced me to Mr. Harvey. I thought he was really nice, and the drinking and abuse was no big deal, but this doesn't make any sense." "That woman!" "Hey, Mom, we're still alive. We're fine." "I don't know if you are. Running away." "Mom, I found Jasper." "Lucy introduced you, but you don't have to marry him, right?" "So, it wasn't her fault." "Don't start blaming me." "Sorry. Lucinda, you're 13. You can get... And you can make up your mind, so let your friends call you Lucy, but I won't." "Go to McDonald's." Serena says, "Sure, General Mom. I'll get the car ready." Chapter 14. Jasper and I pile into Mom's van of Serena, who's driving. Jasper's between us, and he loves the ride. "By the way, Lucy, Mr. Harvey is back in jail." "Good. You call me Lucy." I'm not your mom and you're 13. We pull into a long line of drive-thru cars at McDonald's. Something bad occurs to me. Hey, Serena? Jasper's been missing for days. He must be starving. He looks fine to me. I guess he hunted his own food, and they fed him at the pound. Yeah, but still, dogs can't have McDonald's. How much geography have you memorized today? Geography always helps me get my mind off things like dogs eating hamburgers, so I go for it. Serena starts questioning. Where's Pakistan? There's a pink car with yellow racing stripes driving by. I murmur something, but I don't know what I'm saying. I want that car. Yes, it's in Asia. Where in Asia? West of India. I need that car. Where's Suriname? In northern South America, between Guyana and French Guiana with Brazil to the south. I need that car! Genius. I'm sure they have cars in Suriname. That's not... Oh, it's driving away! Where's Libya? In northern Africa, with Egypt to the east and Algeria to the west and Tunisia to the northwest and Chad and Niger are on the south, and it also borders Sudan just a little bit. She looks at me like I'm a computer robot. Even computers make mistakes, I say, although without the distraction of pink cars, even I know that I can be alarmingly accurate. What? Says Serena. Oh, I need to order. Jasper is barking at the smell of food. Shh, I say to Jasper. I can't quiet him. I really am good at memorizing maps and not much else. Maps, yes. Math, no. Can I help you? I would like 6 cheeseburgers, 6 small fries, 6 side salads with ranch dressing, 6 small Sprites, 6 vanilla milkshakes. Anything else? No, thank you. That'll be $53.95. Pay at the next window. Serena moves to the next window and pays with lots of money she got who knows where and goes to the third window to get the food. 3 bags of burgers and fries, 2 bags of salads of enclosed dressing packets, 3 drink carriers to accommodate the Sprites and milkshakes, and 1 happy doggy grin on Jasper's face as he lunges for a bag of cheeseburgers. Don't you dare! I scream at Jasper, pulling him by his collar. It's awesome to be back with Jasper again. We pull out of the McDonald's parking lot and go to Walmart with its big white letter lights in the dark. Serena says, we can't leave Jasper here alone for food because he'll eat it, so you have to stay with him. I say okay, and Serena leaves. After 10 minutes of keeping Jasper away from the food, Serena comes back with a bag of dog food, a box of milk bones, a handsome red collar, and new food and water bowls. Lucky him, I say. I'm the one who should get rewarded. I found him. Instead, I'm grounded for running away. Ha, says Serena. Wait till Mom hears you at geography. You want more geography now? Sharpen your skills? No thanks, I say. I just need to think. Chapter 15. We walk into the hotel lobby with Jasper on a leash and Jasmine gave me at the pound, and Serena presses the button for the 4th floor. She's holding all the food. There are 5 grocery bags, 3 full of the smaller McDonald's bags, and 2 with Jasper's stuff. I'm holding Jasper on his leash, and he wants to bark at every little sight, smell, and sound that he doesn't know. And I have to keep him quiet because he's being very annoying, and one of the cleaning ladies tells us to keep him quiet. When I get in, Mom looks calmer than when we left, and she's smiling. Liz, Serena, and I sit down on one of the beds and start eating. Tasha and Susie are in the next room, and Mom tells me to bring them in here for our 9 o'clock dinner. After we're done handling the food, Mom looks at me and says, here's the story. Serena and Lucinda, I met your father Derek in college, and Liz, I met your father John when he ran away from the military. Then I met Jack Loss Sr. in a grocery store. I'll tell you that story another time. It's really quite funny. Mom, says Liz, you've already told us about all of our dads. Now Lucinda wants to hear about Lucy. I was just getting to that. Now, I have to back up a bit. I knew Lucy in high school. We worked on projects together, had sleepovers together, went out to lunch together, and lived in each other's houses. We were like one person, Kelly Lucy, Lucy Kelly, or so it seemed. If we had been younger, we would have been best friends, but we were in high school, so we didn't call it that. Lucy was very eccentric, and she fancied herself a matchmaker, but she never made good matches, and I should have known that. So I went along with it, and she was trying to match me up, but I kept finding husbands of my own. We roomed together in college, and Lucy found herself a match, and we grew apart in a residential sense. We weren't living near each other, but we stayed good friends. Lucinda, we called each other every weekend until you were 5, and one time she suggested that I meet Mr. Harvey, and I didn't plan to have any more children. I figured that getting remarried might not be such a bad idea if it was a good marriage. I should have known that Lucy's matches were bad. Should have known that Mr. Harvey was not what he seemed, but I married him, so it was my fault after all. We had common interests, but that meant nothing in the end. I thought I could live with it, and I told Lucy we were married, and she was delighted. Then Mr. Harvey gave me more children than I could manage, and I just felt like I had to go along because he was my husband, and he was forcing more children out of me and abusing the children I already had. She was getting more and more worried about all of you, and Then I stopped speaking to Lucy and I ignored her calls, and after a while I received no mail from her except an occasional Christmas card, and last year, when I finally came to my senses and moved us to Avocado Lime Ranch, I refused to tell Lucy about Mr. Harvey and how I divorced him and blamed her for introducing us, and I did not want to forgive her, and tonight it was a big shock to see her running a hotel in Beachville. Lucinda, when I stopped talking to Lucy, I thought about calling you by your middle name, Liliana, but then I realized that Lucinda was not Lucy, so I decided to call you that, but while you were at McDonald's, I made up with Lucy and explained everything, and now I will call you Lucy if you want me to. You're still grounded. Mom, she rescued Jasper, says Serena. Jasper's the one that really ran away. Okay, fine, Lucinda, you're not grounded, but I will come up with a list of chores, and you have to promise me never to run away again under any circumstances. All right, Mom. Thank you, Lucy. Lucy. She called me Lucy. Epilogue. 6 months later. Bad news, says Susie as soon as Dad gets out of the car. Mom and I are going back to Tunisia for a month while Dad finds a house in Madrid. In other words, we're moving to Spain and I don't know any Spanish. And that's another new place and no friends. I thought you liked Tunisia. That's not the point. I don't like Madrid. You don't know. You've never been there. You may love it. We go to the back of the school bus and Tasha's sitting there with her backpack. What's all this talk about Madrid? Susie's moving there. I forgot to tell you, I passed my exams. Well, I passed everything but geography. I wink. I can help you with that one. Rosemary Richards comes along and says, Well, Tasha, let me take your seat. Forget it, Rosie, says Susie, glaring with Jedi strength. She turns back to me and Tasha and says, For the last time, we're moving in June, and then it's a packing party, and I can skip school till I get to Madrid, but I don't know any Spanish, so I'll be behind everybody else. Welcome to Tasha Land, says Tasha. And my parents say this is permanent. No more moving around. You'll do fine. I say, This is my stop. See you tomorrow. Bye, yells Susie and steps off the bus. Madrid's in France, right? Says Tasha. Spain. And where's Tunisia? Idiot, yells Rosemary Richards, coming forward in her high heels. She steps in the middle of an Easter peep and gets startled and falls on her face. Liz pulls me and Tasha off the bus. Let's go deal with geography, I say. I open the door to my house. Mom's in the kitchen on the phone with her friend Lucy, or maybe her new boss, Penny. She didn't fancy barking, but it's a good job. Oh, she didn't fancy banking, but it's a good job. The Harvey kids are turning out all right despite their parentage. They're playing with Jasper. Everything is perfect. Well, almost. I wish Tunisia wasn't so far away. So, in conclusion to that one, I think that was actually really good for my age. I was 13. I think that was actually really good for my age. Definitely, probably one of the most solid things I wrote. The next one is longer and crazier, but it's not as solid. And so we'll get to that when we get to it. So anyway, that's about that. That's about it. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you for listening. Bye.